Cobus, thanks again for agreeing to this meeting, because this is one of those times that not anyone had ever prepared for this. People didn't know that we'd find ourselves in this situation. I mean, at the beginning of the year, a lot of people were saying 2020 is my year. This year, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to. We didn't know that 3 months down the line, we would find ourselves in this situation. So I called Cobus and I said, Cobus, look, a lot of people are about to go through a lot of stress, because a lot of people will be losing their businesses, or think they will be losing their businesses. Some people will be losing their work, and a lot of things are going to change, obviously, as we can see. And obviously, I thought, who can I call and who can I talk to? And I thought, hey, there's a guy who got me to walk on fire, and there's a guy who got me to walk on broken bottles. If there's one person that can help us through this time, it can only be Cobus. So I thought, hey, let's have a chat and let's open it to our friends and maybe his friends and my followers, and let's talk about how to gain mental strength in uncertain times, because everything is uncertain. We don't know what's going to happen next week. We don't know what's going to happen next month. But then what we need then now more than ever is our mental strength. And that's why I call Cobus a mental strength coach in South Africa, to say, come, let's have a chat about how do we survive these times. And thanks for agreeing to this, my friend.
Yeah, thank you to you, and thank you for the opportunity. Yes, some say mental strength is what we all need during this time. But also, it takes effort to walk on fire. And I like to call myself the Superman of Africa. I love Superman. It's sort of my motivation. Growing up, it was one of the things. I stayed at home, couldn't go to school, and then my dad used to rent Superman movies. In a sense, that became part of my life. I saw my hemophiliac as like being my kryptonite that weakens me. But, my mind is the sun that strengthens me in the end of the day. So,
wow, that's a good one.
And I think that was powerful. And just to introduce people, I just want to say who you are from one side. Is that I hope I spell your name right. Is it Bikisisa?
Yes, you said it correctly. I'm impressed.
And it's Ngomane.
Ngomane, yes.
Yes.
That's awesome.
You have a passion for uplifting and transforming individuals in business. You have a particular expertise in helping individuals find their passion and purpose, also helping businesses to find clarity to be efficient. You are an inspirational speaker who speaks to small and big audiences with the same passion. Energetic style of delivery ensures the audience remains engaged while absorbing quality content. So it's a great honor to be able to be talking to you. And will you maybe just also introduce me?
Yeah, as I said, when I thought about these times, I thought, who can we talk to? And there was none other than Cobus Visser. Cobus Visser is a mental strength coach. That's number one. For me, that's the most important part. Because if you don't have your mind, what else do you have? But over and above that, he's an international keynote speaker. He's got expertise in team culture, and a fire walking guru, peak performance mentor and consultant. As I say, he's actually helped a lot of businesses with marketing strategies, and that's where I need your help, my buddy. Where he's a marketing strategist with over a decade in executive and personal coaching, motivational speaking, and most importantly, real life in trenches and experience. Cobus has shown how one can change your life around and meet great heights with the correct methods, training, and guidance. He's an author, a motivational speaker, as I said, trainer, a life coach, and the only, let's say it again, the only master firewalker instructor in South Africa. So if you want to be a firewalker instructor, there's being a firewalker and there's being an instructor. If you want to be an instructor in firewalking, this is your guy. And I'm looking forward to this conversation with Cobus. Now, what really intrigues me and with Cobus, he grew up with hemophilia. Now, I didn't know about the disease before I met Cobus. And when I met Cobus, I just had to listen to him and watch him through in his Facebook posts and really listen to his talks. And I realized, geez, this guy is quite strong mentally. Hemophilia is a disease where your blood doesn't clot. Am I right, Cobus? And then it
Yes, you're
affects
right.
your
You listen to
joints
my
and
talk. You listen to my talk.
and it affects your joints. And at some time, Cobus was bedridden for a while and couldn't pick up his kids. I don't want to spoil his story. I'm going to let him tell his story. But what intrigues me and what excites me is that through that, Cobus still was able to conquer Mount Kilimanjaro. Cobus has become a master fire walker in South Africa. Cobus has become one of the international and one of the well-known speakers in South Africa. And that's why I'm excited to have him join me in this call. Looking forward to our chat, buddy.
Yeah, I think it's good that we're chatting about it.
Yeah,
You will see I'm wearing red today, and it's not
I
for
can see
today.
that.
Yeah, it's International Hemophilia Day is coming up this Friday,
Oh,
and my call is to everyone to wear red. And you will see my video being posted tomorrow, asking for that assistance so that everyone can wear on red on Friday. Is that because we want to make aware that everyone can have access to treatment. You know, a lot of hemophilias
oh
dies
yes.
at a young age, especially in your local areas. They're not close to hospitals and can't get to treatment very
Mm.
fast. And and for that we wear red and we say hashtag hemophilia, hashtag all in red, and I will post that. Just follow me on social media, and it's
Yeah,
important because
I will also
people
help
don't
you
know
spread
about
that
hemophilia.
message. Of course, of
Thank
course.
you,
I never
brother.
knew about it until you actually spoke to me about it. I think first time I saw you, it was on Facebook, but I didn't. I thought it's just one of those rare things. And when you came on stage and really spoke about it in, I think it was 2017, if not 2018, at Robin Banks' seminar. It was that other same, not the mind power one, the other one, uh,
Shaping your
uh,
destiny.
shaping your destiny. That's when I really got to understand what this is and what you went through. Please take us through your story just a bit. Just I don't know how you're gonna do it in 5 minutes, or in less than 5 minutes. Because last time you had to tell your full story, I was in tears, buddy.
I think, yeah, just in short, hemophilia is a bleeder, and it means my blood doesn't clot. And through all of the bleedings over the years, my joints basically disintegrated. I don't have elbows. You can see this elbow can't go straight, and can't
Sure.
turn my hands around. I don't have elbows, ankles, and I've had a few head bleeds as well. That's why they always say I'm not all there yet. But that's why I walk on fire. But no, that's not the real reason. The real reason I walk on fire is it's the power of the mind.
Ah,
Ended up being in a wheelchair in 2000, between 2015 and 17, and not being able to walk, and had to get out of it. I think when you saw me 2017, I was still struggling to walk a little bit, but it was much better. Um, the biggest challenge for me was to use my mindset to be there. This lockdown, I know how it feels because there was a time that I was locked down in my bed and
mm,
couldn't move, and I had to crawl
mm.
around, and that was the biggest challenge. And as how to keep positive during that time. We're going through a difficult time at this moment, and it's like a mountain. Kilimanjaro became my mountain in front of me that I put
Wow.
there that I wanted to overcome. And in the beginning, I never thought that I was really going to go do it, but it was something to keep my mind focused to work towards. I think the mountain we're climbing now is what's going to happen after lockdown. How are we going to get through this? The
Mm.
biggest challenge I foresee, especially, is mindset. I read an article this today. It's not the virus that's going to kill more people. It's this mental health problems that
Oh
people are
yes.
either going to suicide or give up on life, not willing to. One of the people, I read an article as well today by Johan Rupert that says it's going to come down. People are not going to have that fighting spirit to stand up again. If you're losing
Mm.
everything, how many will still have that fighting spirit to not give
Mm.
up and stand up again? And that was part of my journey. I don't want to go too deep into that today. I don't want
Yeah,
people to
but sure,
rather
yeah,
reach
please,
out. And I'm on
of
YouTube. My
course.
story is on YouTube. I wasn't interviewed on Quela, and my story is there. So if people want to learn more about it, I think
Yeah,
for us today is to look at the learnings from that and how we
yeah.
can
I think we should organize a seminar, maybe to tell your full story and get people to, especially right after out of the blocks after this lockdown. Just organize a seminar and get people to really hear your story. It's an uplifting story. That's number one. But one of the, besides the story, if you get to walk on fire, it's not just the walking on fire that was stood out for me. It's the build up to it. You got me to a place where I felt everything is possible. You got me into a place where I felt there's nothing that can stand in front of me. And like you said, right after this lockdown, a lot of people are going to go through a lot of stress and a lot of depression. And one thing that we're going to need, we're going to need that kind of mental strength. Maybe something that you can think about it. After this, you need to put together a couple of seminars and then get people to the right state of mind. Why I'm saying this, Cobus, is because I've realized that in 1933, after the Great Depression, there were a lot of people that their situation got even worse. But even having said that, a lot of people, let's not say a lot of people, a lot of billionaires were formed after the 1933 depression. What would you say? What was a different mindset, or what did those people have that we are going to need after this lockdown? The people who went out after the Great Depression and became billionaires. I'm thinking about the book Think and Grow Rich. Yes, it was quiet. It came out during that time, and a lot of people became billionaires because of that. Tell me what is it going to take for someone that's maybe have a job or about to lose a job or about to lose a business, for them to really go to that billionaire status in the next 5 years?
One thing is we always need to learn from history. History repeats itself, and we basically in a similar situation. And
yes,
first go read Think and Grow Rich. Secondly, is go do some research of that period of time, what people did and how they got out of it. Apart from having the right mindset, of course, is to follow the right strategies. And one thing of that is to start getting debt free. I know it's probably not possible, but if you go into the future, is to have that mindset of saving, become debt free. The most people that will survive this time is people that are debt free, that have no worries. The ones that is going to struggle is those ones who are going to sit with all the debt. So that is the one mindset shift that we need to start making that made those people rich. The next one is to become very choose where you're going to spend your money. You're not going to spend your money anywhere because you're not going to have money. And so you're going to have to choose where you're going to spend your money and then what you're going to spend your money. I think that is one important thing is become stingy with your money. Get to that point is where you're only going to support local businesses. And that is the most important thing is we need to put money back into our local society.
Exactly.
Support South African made products, support your local stores around you. Imagine this. I'm an outsider coming into town. I'm a rep and I'm gonna rep to all the shops. I go to the guest house. I pay 100 rand for my deposit, and say I'm gonna sleep over there that night. I go into town. I go see all my shops. Meantime, the guest house owner remembers he bought meat the other day from the butcher, so he's gonna pay $100. He needs to, and so he quickly gives one of her workers, sends the money, go pay the butcher. The butcher, by the way, remembers. Oh, he bought some alcohol the other day from the that people can't buy today, but from the bottle store. He owes them $100, so he sends his $100 to the bottle store. The bottle store guy remembers there's a local delivery company. He owes them $100. They delivered a parcel for them, so he sends his $100 there. And while at the delivery company, I was like, oh, I had one of my delivery guys sleep the other night over at the guest house. I owe the guest house $100.
Wow.
So he sends back the $100 to the guest house. At the guest house, the guy receives his money back, and then the rep comes back and says, "Look, I'm finished early. I'm gonna go to the next town to sleep. Can I have my $100 back?" And so gives the 100 rand back, and the person leaves. In the end of the day, if you think about it, no money basically left the person. Yet the money went through the whole system of their local economy that boosted the economy to grow. Even the money got back. So that is where we need to get to, people, is we need to start supporting each other. We're going to have to think outside of the box. We're going to start planting our own food. We're going to, it's a whole mindset shift change that we'll have to go through as individuals. If you have a job, the chances of you maybe losing your job is almost 100%, dependent on the industry that you're working in. If you're a business owner, the chances of you losing your business in the next month or two is also a big percentage. So we need to start thinking different. And how we're going to survive during this period is we will have to either joint venture, start small businesses, get our employees and everyone to work hard and put effort in. So it comes down to the end of the day, like you say, mindset and mental strength in this uncertain times. Now, that is all outside areas. My next thing is that I learned from Think and Grow Rich is your self-talk. How are you talking to yourself? That is if you wake up in the morning, especially think about it, it's 4 weeks, 5 weeks that we are in isolation. The first 2 to 3 weeks is still fine, but after that, it starts becoming, if you bombarded with news on WhatsApp and Facebook about the negativity, you can lose your mind. And so it's important your self-talk. The next thing is upskilling yourself, using this time to learn new skills, even if it's social media, marketing, whatever you need to learn. But you need to learn skills because people are going to go to people that have the right skills and that have an entrepreneurial spirit, that can motivate themselves, that have energy and drive. And that starts with self-talk. The next thing is also specialize. One thing about that I learned from the 50s to after that is people started specializing in certain industries, certain tasks, certain things, and they got good at it. So get good at something so that people want to buy that. It's no more jack of all trades. Because I have only a little bit of money. I can't give it to someone that's not an expert in their field. Why? Because I don't want to lose it. What if you don't give a good job?
Sure.
That's just some of the learnings. And I think there's over 13 learnings that you can get from that.
Geez, a lot of people pay for what you've just said. I mean, you've mentioned a couple of things: mental strength. You've mentioned strategies that will take us out of this, which is get out of debt. So the first thing out of the block now is just get out of debt so that you can have money at your disposal. And if you have money at your disposal, it gives you the opportunity also to start a business. So, because a lot of companies, I'm sure they'd get to a point where they, instead of working 8 hours, they'd say, hey, we'd like you to keep you in your job, but how about you work 4 hours and then we take your salary, maybe we half your salary. Then if you've got money at your disposal, you can start another business that can employ you and eventually employ others. I like what you said about just cutting your debt. And self-talk. It's one of the most important things, right? That you mentioned, because a lot of times we listen to what other people say and we listen to what the news are saying. I mean, I consider myself as one of the most positive people on earth. But when this thing hit us, I mean, I started to listen to the news a lot until I had to stop myself. I had to say, Peggy, no, man, that's enough. Because I was starting to be negative. I was starting to be fearful as well. And I was starting to lose a hope. And I realized it's because of what I'm taking in and garbage out. I like what you said about that. But I want to zoom in to what you said about upskilling yourself. Because obviously after this, we are going to, it's like this thing has forced us to rethink our economy. This thing has forced us to rethink how we do things. What type of skills do you think we're going to need to get our economy to move again and to get ourselves to survive the next wave of the economy? What skill do you think people should be like zooming in and say, I want to upskill myself on this so that I can survive?
Yeah, I think upskilling is going to be coming down to what can you give to people out there that can make them successful? What is it in for other people? But certain skills that I believe that is going to really take up is people that can work with their hands, people that can create products, people that can create new industries instead of importing it, because importing is going to be expensive. How many of us can create new products and products to service the market that people can buy local? Through that, we can create new jobs. So if you don't know how to work with your hands, either upskill yourself to work with your hands, create, from plumbers to electricians to maybe creating masks to creating,
We'll
start making
always need
clothes
those
again.
stuff. Ah.
Yes, planting trees, planting fruit and vegetables to resell. So skills like that. But the next skill that is the most important is how to sell, how to be able to sell yourself. That is a skill that we all need. Next thing is how to market yourself. People don't know how to market themselves and put themselves out there. So that is, for me, is the two most important after that, because if you can't market yourself, people will not know about you, and then you can't sell to them because you don't know how to sell to them. So it's a knock-on effect. So then the next thing that is important through all of this, not only upskilling yourself, is surrounding yourself, getting a mastermind, getting a coach, getting someone that will be able to guide you, that you can brainstorm off your ideas. Because I just spoke to one of my a client earlier. It's that you can have all of these great ideas, but it can be only great in your mind. It's not necessarily it's from a customer's experience. Is that what they want? So by brainstorming it with a coach, we can pull it apart and say, but is that really what the market wants? Is that really what people need? So having a mastermind, that can help you grow, and that can also guide you and say, but look, looking at your whole bigger picture, because the mastermind stands from the outside looking in, as we can say is, look, this is the skill that you need. This is the sorties, because you might think, no, I have that skill, I will be good at it. But your mastermind, your coach can say, no, you need to actually up that skill level.
Sure.
So that is just a few of those that I can talk about that I think is necessary. But there's plenty more.
That's very important what you said. I like especially when you said learn to market yourself, learn to how to sell yourself. Because like you said, some of the skills that we're going to need is maybe working with our hands, starting to produce stuff from us, so that we can be able to sell, so that we can be able to put them out there in the market. But the most important thing is you can learn to make something out of your hands, but how do you then put it out there and sell it? And back in the days, people used to hate salespeople, not realizing that actually everybody is a salesperson. And there is nothing wrong really in selling. In fact, that's how the economy gets to work. That's how the economy gets to grow. What would be the best way to learn how to sell or to market yourself? Like where should one go? You mentioned a mastermind, which is one good thing, but where else can we get these teachers and coaches and mentors to really help us with these things?
There's a lot of places, they can reach out to me and you, and we can coach them and train them. But also, it depends on their cash flow. Udemy is a nice place to go and learn from people, and it's not very expensive. You can pay there for an online course $200, and you can learn how to sell, and you can learn how to do and market yourself. But also, go see who's the best. There's one salesperson that I follow. His name is Grant Cardone. And he has written books. So go buy his books and read how he talks about selling. There's a guy that there's a few salespeople. I've forgotten the Wolf of Wall Street. Go read his books. Go watch movies about selling. The next thing is YouTube is a nice place to go and see videos about selling. It is free. Another place is Gary Vee. Gary Vee is all about social media and marketing. He has free, he gives free value. So go follow him. So that's already a place to start, is to go learn from people that are successful in that industry. And because you can't get that personal interaction, is then find someone locally that is good. That is a business coach like me and you, that is a sales coach, that is a marketing coach, and get them to help you. And barter. I think the next thing that is what we're going to do in the next year is we're going to barter services. We're going to barter. You have a database, I have the system. Let's put together and market it out to the people. So bartering is also going to be a big thing. that we need to look at. So in a sense, that is how I will go about upskilling
Mm.
myself.
That's a good one. You know, Cobus, as you're talking right now, I just thought to myself, a lot of people will probably, in fact, I've had a couple of conversations with my friends and some of the people that I coach, and I would almost talk to them and tell them, look, get a side gig if you've got a problem. Get a something you do on the side that you can sell. Get something that you can make. And I'm big at following your passion. That even if you have a job, get something that you love doing, and eventually you'll be so good at that thing that people will start paying you for it, right? But I get this a lot. A lot of people say, uh, not everyone is a business person, and not everyone can start a business. And this economy is sort of forcing everyone to be in business. What would you say to someone who says that, who says, look, I don't have those skills. I cannot sell. I'm not a business person. I don't have that kind of personality to be a business person. Do you need a certain personality to be a business person?
I think just to answer in a different way, I never had the skill to drive a car and never could drive a car. So I can also
Wow, I've
say
never
I
thought
will
of it
never be,
that way.
I will never be able to drive a car. And
Wow,
it's the
that's a
same
good
thing.
one. Yeah.
I'm an introvert. I could never speak in front of
Ah.
people. I will get sweaty. But the thing
Mm,
is, what did we do? It didn't happen overnight like simsalabim and there it is. It
mm,
was a process. You had to learn to drive. In the beginning, you were still looking all the mirrors and everywhere. No, you don't
mm,
even think twice. You just put it in gear and you go. And the same with speaking. I went to Toastmasters. I went to the Professional Speakers Association.
mm.
One of my mentors in speaking said, Cobus, go do 100 free talks. And I said, why? They said, because after that, you will know your story. You've been in front of audiences and people started knowing about you and then they will start paying you. So, yeah, of course, if you say you're not an entrepreneur or a business person, then you're always going to believe that and you're going to be a worker. I sometimes say, life, everyone can't be a business person. You need to have your workers. And those workers are the ones that don't believe that they can be an entrepreneur.
Exactly.
They're going to
Exactly.
always be the sheep working for someone.
Mm,
So
true.
can you be entrepreneur? Of course. But then you must be willing to go learn and practice what you learn. I think that
Mm,
is the most important.
yeah. Because sometimes we think being an entrepreneur, because a lot of people fall in love with the glamour of being an entrepreneur because of all these Facebook posts and Instagram posts of people living their life, but they don't know the story behind that. And a lot of people actually lose that entrepreneurial drive, especially when they go through their hardship, and that's where people like you come in, mental strength coaches, strategist coaches, and that's where that's where you guys come in, and people like me who be able to help them maybe identify what is it that you be good at, because I you know what I say, everyone can be successful in entrepreneurship, but you have to do what you are excited about, so that even when those trying times comes, you can still be able to go through it. I think it was Steve Jobs who said it's not easy, but if you are passionate about it and you are excited about it, you'll keep standing up and going out to do it.
I think it's more than that. I think it's
Mm,
more than just passion.
mm,
If people look at me, what I'm capable of now. They don't see the nights that I cried myself that I couldn't
oh
pay
yes.
my bills and that I couldn't do things that needed to be done and I couldn't wake up because I was too stressed about my bills at the end of the month. And then I want to be like Robin Banks, but I forget that he's been doing this for 20 years and I'm only doing it for
Yes.
4 or 5 years now. So, there's still time for me to grow and to be there. But one thing that I learned on this drive, and this is only my experience and this is only what I did. Sometimes, yes, following your passion and being excited is you need to have that to be able to keep going. But there's certain times you have to do the things that brings the money in. There's certain times that I had to do certain things that I didn't want to, but it
Exactly.
put money and food on the table for me to keep
Mm,
going to still do my passion, because my passion
mm.
was my main thing. But I had to do side hustles to be able to do that. I had to.
Uh,
I had a bucky, so I did a few times deliveries for people, and they paid me. to use my bakkie, but that gave me cash flow to keep going and keep
Of
pursuing my
course.
dream. I had to
Yeah.
I had to give up certain things. I had to move in back with my family to be able to do that. So how many of you, think about it? You pay rent at a house. Most people in the city. Why not move into with other people so you pay less, so you have extra cash flow to be able to do what you love.
Wow. And those are the strategies that we're going to need to learn. And those are the things that we're going to need to learn to work with each other so that we can I think someone said something good. I can't quite remember what they said, but they said collaboration is is the best competition or something like that. I didn't get it right, but it had to do with collaboration. And that's when we need to find a way to collaborate with people who are better at other things than we are, so that we can produce better stuff. Well, I'm enjoying this conversation, Cobus. I really like what you said. You've opened up you just took me back to a time when I was one of those people that was like, and I still am, but at that time, I think I hadn't grown enough as well. I had read Think and Grow Rich. I had read Tony Robbins' Awaken Your Giant Within, and I read all these books. And I get to a point to say, look, I see my job is getting me money. I can pay a house, I can pay a car, but I'm not excited about it anymore. And then I just left my job and said, I'm going to pursue my passion. It was within 6 months, I was broke, and I had to move in with my family. And my kids had to go out of school. Several times I've had to send my mom to my kids' school because they couldn't let him in the school. They couldn't let her in the class because we didn't pay school fees. Several times we couldn't pay rent. And I started I had to get a bakkie. I remember I had to get a bakkie, get a lot of scrap metal, get some people to give me the scrap metal and go. And it's a dirty job. I don't want to lie to you, Cobus. It's a dirty job. Those nights I couldn't sleep. I just couldn't sleep because you had to think what's going to happen the next day. But what really turned things up for me while I was doing that, I said, Peggy, you said you want to follow your passion, but what are you doing? Where do you start? And then I went to volunteer to be a teacher because that's what excites me, imparting knowledge and imparting value to other people. I volunteered as a teacher and I wasn't getting paid nothing. And because of that, it catapulted me to a point where now I get called to speak at companies. I get called to speak at seminars. I can do this kind of conversation. And that's very important what you said, that look, don't only focus on what you are passionate about while you are broke. While you are broke, get other things that you can do on the side. Collaborate with other people that can help you get to where you want to go. Yeah, Cobus. So tell me more now. What got you to make a decision that entrepreneurship is your thing?
I think the realization that I'm in control of my own destiny. If I put in that same, you put 8 hours a day into someone else's business. Imagine you put 8 hours in your business, in your mind, plus you have more time to put into it because you're passionate about it. Imagine how successful you can be. It's like Bruce Lee says, practice. He's scared of a guy that practiced the same kick 10,000 hours compared to the guy that practiced 10,000 kicks. And that is what you have 16 hours a day. You only have a few hours to sleep, and you put all of that towards your business and your passion. You will be successful with the right skills and upskilling yourself. On my path, I spent almost $1 million on self development and self growth to be able to apply everything because I wasn't perfect. Now it's the same. You need to invest into your personal growth, but also then go out and apply it. You have how many hours a day? Most people that becomes an entrepreneur think they're gonna have all of this time, but guess what? You just created you two to three
Another
jobs
job.
because
Yes, exactly. Because especially in network marketing, I've done a bit of network. In fact, not a bit. I've done a lot of network marketing, and they sell you this dream that look, you're going to be in charge of your time. You're going to, but people don't realize that even those type of businesses, it's another job. But so long as you love it and you're excited about it, go for it. But don't think that now you're going to sit and now people are going to go out and sell that product for you and now you make money. You have to be you have to have a certain mindset. You have to have a leadership mindset, even if you go to that business. One of the people said it's not net rest marketing, it's network marketing. So even if you are in network marketing, work, do something. And which brings me to my next question. Now that we're going to this economy is going to change, a lot of people are going to need a second income. What do you think about those bitcoins, marketing or investment, network marketing, and all those kind of other side hustles? How do you feel about it?
I'm actually in two minds of that. I think
Yeah.
one thing is a lot of solidness is going to come out, and people are going to see the reality behind it. And so a lot of people are going to fail because it's hard work. People that probably don't have the money at the moment to be investing into that, so they're going to be thinking twice where they're going to put their money. Look, network marketing has always been there and it does work. But this is also going to be a period of where a lot of pyramid schemes are going to jump up.
That's the problem.
Because people want to be quick rich, so they're going to buy into it because it's just they see the money, and before they know it will crash and burn. The thing is how long will that be sustainable? Because you have to work at it. It becomes a 16-hour day job. It's not going to be half time. You're not going. It's 1% of all of them that are successful, that are making the money. And how do they make the money? Is they on stage or they the leaders selling it to their team, making sure their team sells it? Those guys are making the money. The guy hustling at the ground is not making the money. Okay, they're making just the top people rich. That's how it is. And let it the truth be. That is the truth. You've been in network
That is true.
marketing.
Of
It's
course,
the guys
that's
that's
the truth.
speaking on stage.
Yes, you mentioned something very important now. You said it's only the 1% that makes money. And I see now that even in the world right now, it's the 1% that are making most of the money. Someone said if you take all the money in the world and divide it accordingly, it will end up going to the same 10% at the end of the day. What is it that the 1% or the 1% have that not every person has? And is it something that can be acquired, or is it something that you are born with? Like that kind of mindset, that kind of Cobus mindset that says, I can walk on fire. Even if I've got hemophilia, if I'm going through this, I can go climb Mount Kilimanjaro. What is it that the 1% has?
One thing is they're debt free. They don't have debt. So they have money
That's
to
awesome.
spend.
Exactly. And they have money to borrow other people so they can charge them interest.
Yeah. So the other difference they also have, they're surrounded by the similar kind of people that thinks the same, that talks the same, that does the same thing. So by having that mindset around you, you start thinking differently, you start acting differently, you start seeing opportunities around you because they see opportunities and they collaborate. That is the other thing they do is they work together in creating wealth and being successful. Because I will share with you, have you seen this investment opportunity? And let's put money on it because we have the money, but we share ideas, we share opportunities with each other. I think that is the most important. Can you get the same? Yes. You're just going to have to upskill slowly by slowly to different levels. So you're earning the same as average of the 5 people you spend your time with. So
Wow.
at the moment you start saying up your minds, your mastermind group. Once you start earning the same as them, then you upskill again because you think like them, you talk like them. The other thing about them, apart from being debt free, and is they constantly seeing where they can save money and where they can make money. They're always out there making a buck, but also they're stingy. They don't just put their money out there to the market. If you think about these funds that are currently in South Africa, it's not a handout. It's not like you get money and you not have to pay it back. or these payment holidays that the bank is giving you. They're not giving you money. They're just giving you time. You're going to pay longer on that. They, like the funds of that they're going to give entrepreneurs. It's only the first year that is interest free. But you have to go and look at the small print. What will be the interest after that 1 year? But people don't see that, and those people see the opportunity, so they're gonna make money in the long run for the future. So
you just reminded me of the story from Think and Grow Rich, the Ford story, when he was someone wrote it in the newspaper that he is uneducated, and they had to try him. And after they tried him, they kept on asking him this random history questions from school, and eventually Ford said, "Look, I don't need all that. All I need to do is to surround myself with the right people, and I can just press the button if I need something to be answered." For instance, you just spoke about the fine print. Now, not everybody has got that gift of a fine print, of reading the fine print. But if you surround yourself with the right people, you surround yourself with a good lawyer. Before you sign something, you ask your lawyer, "Buddy, can you read this for me? Is it safe for me to go there?" And then they can tell you the pros and the cons. They can read for you the fine print, and then you can learn from that. And then you can go take decisions that are very informed. And that's how we learn and grow. The five people you surround yourself with, your mastermind. Do you even have a mastermind as a
Robin
person?
Banks, just to interrupt you, but Robin Banks told me the one day, he says, "Cobus, just do what you do perfect and what you love, and find other people to do what they are good at for you." And that's what it's about.
Exactly. And that speaks to efficiency. As a business, you're gonna have to be efficient, because at the business people, especially when you go into entrepreneurship, you get to a point where you do everything by yourself. But if you get other people and you collaborate with other people who've got other expertise in the same type of business, they can do what you're not good at while you do what you are good at. That's a good one. Yeah. So we spoke a lot about collaboration, because obviously after this we're gonna have to do that. A lot of people are going to have to collaborate. Can you expand a bit more on collaboration? What's the difference between collaboration and having a mastermind, and how can we use collaboration to survive this next coming years?
Mastermind is where you give advice and you brainstorm and you put ideas out, and they help you. Collaboration is, I have something, you have something else. My thing that I have can help you to grow your business, and what you have, you can help me again, as an example. So this is maybe where a manufacturing links up with a different company and say, "Help me marketing my products to your existing base of customers and make it go." This is also opportunity for small businesses to say, "But let's buy each other out and create a joint venture. Let's collaborate. You have stock, we have database, so let's create a new business." It's like ShopRite buying OK Furnitures and creating one company, and that gives us opportunity to grow. So in a sense, you will have to let go a certain of your ego to be able to let go of what you have. So I always say, rather have 10% of 100% than having 0 of 100%.
That's a good one.
In the long run, we're going to win. You might have a database of 100,000 people. I have nothing, but I have the courses, the online training, and say, but how can we collaborate so that you can earn something and I can earn something through that? Through that, we collaborate. You can collaborate with your suppliers. The one guy can that, let's say, do IT, can collaborate with one of the suppliers and say, "You have customers, we will give a service towards them. You're getting a cut of it, and we become your preferred supplier to your customers." So there's different ways. I think we can have a topic about this the whole day, and it depends on the industry. If we had someone giving us an example of an industry where they can collaborate, we can quickly see how we can collaborate with them and give them ideas. I think that is something that we can definitely talk about. I think we unendless ideas.
It's yeah. Oh yeah, we can all agree that this pandemic has caused us to think differently, and it's forcing everyone to think differently. A lot of for a long time, motivational speakers and inspirational speakers and other speakers have been talking about thinking differently. Now, this thing is forcing us to really think differently. Just a quick one. We are left with 12 minutes before we close this call, and I've enjoyed every part of it. I've learned myself on what I'm going to do after this from Cobus, and thank you again for agreeing to this. So, what's your plan, Cobus? After, let's say, straight after the block, when the president says, "Okay, now we're back to normal. Let's go back to normal. Let's all live our lives again." What's the first thing that you're going to do? I'm missing a steak. That's what I miss at the moment. Just going to the restaurant and having that medium to well done steak.
Look, I think a lot of certain industries is going to jump off. You know, we all going to
Yes.
braai. We all going to have that steak pizza, you know, hamburgers.
Exactly.
For some people, it will be KFC, Nando's. The secret now lies. Those who are going to be ready and runs kick out of the jumping blocks or the spring blocks, like think of athletics. They're going to win the race. And how are you going to be prepared? You need to start preparing now. You need to start having your plans and everything, how you're going to get running. And I think that is the most important. What I'm going to do is I'm already putting out my marketing. I've already have my online courses set out. So I'm out there helping the businesses. I'm going to focus on the right market, jumping in because they're going to need motivation for their teams. They're going to have to have new strategy sessions for going forward. But I need to be prepared. I need to market myself now to be able to do that. That's why interviews like this is important, so that people get to know about who I am and what I do, and the same with you.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Cobus, man, it's been a great show. And I'm looking forward to having such shows with you. Even if we have to go live one day, when you've got a live audience, I'd love to come along and just say, to even introduce you. I always enjoy an encounter with you, and I always enjoy listening to you. Besides enjoying that, every time I'm with you, I learn something, and that's why I like being around you, Cobus. And just a few things now. What I heard you spoke about online training and on your online marketing training. Can you please tell us a bit more about it so we can jump on it as well?
Yes, I'm having a masterclass this Thursday. People can join. I will add the link into the comments that people can do. And the next thing is I have an online webinar series that is on my YouTube called Marketing Webinars that people can go look at. And then I have an online course almost finished that is going to go in depth on all the channels, social media, pricing psychology for business and yourself. So it's personal, it's business strategy and marketing strategies that are going deep from Facebook to LinkedIn to running ads on all of these media. So for people to go in depth and learn to upskill themselves in the end of the day. So that is what I'm busy with getting ready. And I think the most important is for people to follow me on social media. The live videos is going to come. I have a podcast on anchor.fm called Zero to Hero. This will be uploaded there as well. So there's a few things in the pipeline. Every Monday, I'm doing a Motivation Monday at 9 o'clock where I motivate people. I'm doing a marketing and webinar strategy again on Monday. So, and a few people that I've lined up to interview as well. So there's a lot of things happening, and the best is just to follow on social media.
Oh, that's great. So you just put your social media handles on the comments. I'll also put mine, and then please just tag me on all your posts and all your training. So some of my followers can also follow you. Some of my followers can also benefit from what you have to offer. Just parting words in 3 minutes. Just your last words to the audience.
I think it's time to do whatever it takes, and that's to go and put it. And remember, everything starts with your beliefs. If you want to change your destiny, change your beliefs, change your words, change your actions, and before you know it, your destiny will be different. So that is my last words. Thank you, Vikisa, and have a beautiful day.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for joining me in this, and I hope we'll meet in this fashion again. If not like this, I hope we'll meet live somewhere and we'll have a joint seminar or with you.
Tukisa,
I
are you
think
still
we've got a
there?
problem with the internet connection. I'm still here. Yes.
Yes. Okay. But I think can I stop the live stream now?
Yeah, you can stop the live stream, man. It was great.